Hi, this is Greg Jolly with the OHSU REDCap team. In this video, we'll be talking about using REDCap for e-consent when you have an information sheet with no signature required. Instructions are included with the OHSU REDCap templates. This video is intended to be a supplement to those instructions. The templates themselves were developed in collaboration with the OHSU IRB in order to meet the requirements for the use of electronic consent at OHSU. A REDCap e-consent survey is simply a digital version of the paper consent form that has been approved by the IRB. This video is intended for a project builder who is creating an e-consent in their REDCap project for an information sheet without a signature. In this video, we will cover where to find the template, how to edit the template, editing the survey settings on the template, and how to set up the PDF Snapshot. The e-consent templates can be found in three places. You can download a template zip from the OHSU REDCap wiki. You can follow the link e-consent guidance, which is included in the left-hand navigation menu of every REDCap project. You could download the templates from the REDCap shared library. Simply search by the term OHSU to find those templates in the shared library. Or you could also already have a consent form included in your REDCap project because it was selected in one of the new project templates when your project was requested. And now let's jump over into REDCap and get a look at the information sheet with no signature template. In this overview section, we will cover the different components of the information sheet with no signature template. The REDCap information sheet with no signature template is intended to be an electronic version of the IRB's paper information sheet with no signature template. As with all the e-consent templates, this includes the template tag here. Scrolling further down, there is the OHSU logo. And then there are fields to copy and paste in your IRB-approved consent form language. In addition, there are fields where the REDCap template is changed for the electronic survey format. These include the version field here, which is hidden from participant view via action tags. What you supply for the version number here while in development mode is the version that you will launch to production with. How this field is used for managing revisions to the e-consent survey will be covered in a separate video. Please do not remove or modify the action tags here. Also, another instance where the template has been modified for electronic survey format is the participant's consent decision. You'll note that there are colored instructional fields throughout the template. These should be deleted after you have read through the instructions and completed the task described therein. Also, at the top of the form is the project pre-check field. This is intended to be a reminder that the person who is completing this template is the project point person who has completed both basics and survey training. The project is on the supported service for research support track. The point person has completed the self-service e-consent training on the wiki, and that they have selected the correct e-consent template to match the paper form approved by the IRB. This field can be deleted after you have ensured that all of those requirements have been met. Finally, the production changes field is intended for the reference of the point person when revisions to the e-consent survey are required after the project has moved to production. Please do not remove this field or the action tags associated with it. This concludes the template overview. We'll now move on to editing the template. There are 5 steps involved in editing the template. Step 1 is to open your paper form. You must have a paper form in order to begin filling out the template. The information sheet that we'll be using in this video is for demonstration purposes only. Step 2, begin editing the template. Starting with the project pre-check field, once you are certain that all these requirements have been met, delete this field. Moving on to the fields for e-consent management. The production changes link is here strictly for the reference of the point person for when revisions need to be made to the e-consent survey. Please do not remove this field. Moving on. The ICF version field is essential for managing revisions to the e-consent form over time. This field notes the version of the e-consent survey that was launched when the project is moved to production. Versions can either be dates or numbers or a combination of both. We commonly see this format used. So in order to update this, I will edit the field, copy from my paper form, replace the date placeholder, edit to match formatting, and save. Once I have updated this field, I can then remove the version instruction. For approval and expiration dates, I'll follow the same process. Edit the approval dates field, copy from my paper form, paste, adjust formatting as necessary, copy again, and save. Delete the instructional field and move on to the OHSU logo. In some instances, when downloading a copy of the template into your project, the OHSU logo might be broken and not appear. If that's the case, we've included instructions here on how to find a fresh copy of the logo and how to edit the field properly to display it. The logo is intact here, so I'm going to delete this field and move on. And next we'll talk about consent language. As with the previous fields, I'll just edit this field and copy from my paper form. So I'll begin with the IRB number, grant that here, paste, grab my title, PI and contact information, and for the co-investigators, here we just have one person listed, so I will paste that here, remove this placeholder text, and save. And moving on to the next section, who is paying for this study. We have this on the paper form, so I'm going to hit this field, paste in again, fixing this bolding formatting, and save. Moving on to the next field, do any of the researchers have a conflict of interest with this study? Looking at my paper form, this section has no information for me to copy over. So in that instance, I will just return to the template and delete this field. Similarly, if I had a field on my paper form, a section on the paper form that did not appear on the template here, I would just copy one of these existing fields and then edit the title and edit the text they're in to match whatever was included on the paper form. The whole idea with the template is that you are just doing whatever you need to do to make it match what the IRB has approved. And you'll just repeat in this fashion for all the remaining fields on the template. I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of these things in, and then we'll pick back up on the consent decision. I've finished filling in the remaining fields on the template, which brings us to the consent decision. The consent decision is captured via a radio button. This field is required. Please do not change the field type from a radio button or remove the requiredness of this field. Also, there is no need to add a date field capturing the date of consent that's intended for the participant to fill out. Per the IRB, the timestamp captured by REDCap on the PDF is the date of consent. You will need to edit the field labels here or the field choice labels here to match your paper form. In this case, what's on the template directly matches what is on my paper form, so I need to make no further edits here. I will now delete the consent decision instruction field, as well as this note about the consent date. And I'll also use this time to scroll back through and edit any other instructional fields, which I haven't yet removed. And while scrolling back through these fields, I noticed that the formatting for this field does not look correct. This can sometimes happen when copying into REDCap from something like a Word document. So in order to fix this, we can remove some of this incorrect formatting. And remove any extraneous return spaces. And then use REDCap's rich text editor to correct those bullets. Now that looks much better. And with that, we will now move on to step 3, editing the survey settings. To access survey settings, you can either click the button at the top of the form page for survey settings, or also select the survey settings button from the Online Designer page. For survey title, you can follow the format of agreement to participate and then the name of your study. I will grab mine again from my paper form, copy and paste. For survey instructions, the best practice is to include an IRB-approved introduction explaining e-consent. It's also recommended to include study team contact info. Scrolling down. For survey theme, accept the default or set to flat white to retain the professionalism of the agreement form. For question numbering, leave the set to custom numbered. For pagination, accept the default setting of single page. And for allow participants to download a PDF of their responses at the end of the survey, best practice is to set this to yes. For required fields, display the red must provide value text on the survey page, accept the default setting of yes. For allow save and return later option for respondents, accept the default setting of no. For auto continue to the next survey, please leave this box unchecked. For survey completion text, the best practice is to include study team contact info, but please note that any language in the survey completion text must be IRB approved. And after making those edits, we will scroll to the bottom and click Save Changes. Now we will move on to step 4, configuring PDF Snapshot. Now we will configure REDCap to capture a PDF of the participant's completed e-consent survey. We will do this by a tool called PDF Snapshot. You can find PDF Snapshot in this button in the Online Designer. However, please note that PDF Snapshot will have its own button in future versions of REDCap. From here, click the tab that says PDF Snapshots of Records and Add New Trigger. For the name of trigger, we're going to use Information Sheet Submission. For Step 1 trigger conditions, please select the e-consent survey. For Steps 2, 3, and 4, please accept the default settings of Save as Compact PDF, Save to File Repository, and Snapshot File Name. There are no further edits to make here, just leave these as is and save. And we get our confirmation that our PDF snapshot was configured. With PDF snapshot configured, we can now move on to Step 5, testing the e-consent survey. To test your e-consent survey, come over to Add Edit Records and Add New Record. Click Save and Stay in the upper right-hand corner. You're okay at that pop-up. And come to the Survey Options dropdown and select Open Survey. This will show you your e-consent survey exactly as the participant will see it. At this point, you'll want to review all the language in the consent form to make sure it matches what is on your approved paper form. And you'll also want to review the survey settings, such as the title and instructions here, to make sure that you followed the template guidance. Scroll to the bottom, click Yes, I would like to participate in the study, and Submit. And here we see our survey completion text and the option to download a copy of the completed consent form. Close survey there and leave without saving changes. And now, because we have set up PDF Snapshot, we want to ensure that that is working properly. So we can come over to the File Repository, click on the PDF Snapshot Archive, and here we can review the participant's submitted copy of the consent form. And scrolling through here, we can see that we have captured the date of consent, which is the IRB requirement. And so that means PDF Snapshot has been set up correctly. In conclusion, we have completed all the steps related to filling out the information sheet with no signature template in REDCap. Links to both the REDCap wiki and all e-consent training material are in the left-hand navigation menu of every REDCap project. Please sign up for drop-in when you're ready for the REDCap team to take a look at your information sheet with no signature and to get our first look at the project. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We hope it's helpful, and we'll see you at drop-in.